Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. All the long-time listeners. If you're a new listener, appreciate you for tuning in live, listening, or as well in the replay. Appreciate new listeners. This episode is the Vault episode 403, Paying Trade for 2022 H2, which is the second half of 2022. If you're not aware of the H2 half two, second half of 2022. So definitely want to talk about this. This is an episode that, we get demands and questions about when people are saying, oh, I'm invested in this, I'm invested in that. So we're not going to be legal advice, we're not financial advice. We're just having a conversation of what's going on in 2022, second half. It's been one of those years so far where things have been pretty much, they're now to the downside. They're pretty apparent. It's pretty much showing up in the market. The ripple, the tide, the echoes, the waves in the water are being shown in the marketplace. So how do you move in these marketplaces? So many people say, okay, well, what is a pain trade? A pain trade is where so many people they got in crypto at the wrong time and they're waiting for it to go back up. We used to ask the question all the time, if you got in, do you still have it? If the number went back against you, do you still have it? Most people, they sell out of the position. That's a pain trade. So we're going to talk about it today, tonight, wherever you are in the world. Definitely want to talk about the upcoming conference that we have on August the 6th. It's something you can reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. And feel free to reach out. We look forward to seeing you there. Never need to really sell the workshops. The workshops are sellout events, standing room only, all the time. So we look forward to the individuals and families that we see at the workshop and connecting with. It's definitely going to be one that's going to be important for people that are going to be there. It's always important for the people that are be there. It's so interesting because so far we have so many VIP tickets that have already been gone, and that's because when you get that dinner with that extra time around the mentors, the mentors did that for us when we were on the road when we first started out. They would give you that extra dinner. You would be able to be invited to a dinner, and things of that nature. And so, we're excited. We're gonna have Cornell there. We're gonna have Victor there. It's definitely gonna be something. Looking forward to having some other names that aren't even on the actual flyer right now. So when people talk about, hey, where's the enrolled agents or where are the accountants, where are the lawyers, and are you gonna have them in the room? Well, this is the opportunity to see that those people are in the room. We just may not always put them out there in the public, and they may not want to be really bothered, but they'll be present there for any, not necessarily validation, but making sure that people have conversations that are always on the up and up. So, pain trade for 2022 H2. Definitely excited about talking about this topic today, but definitely want to talk about how even going into the workshop, you may not be able to take advantage of the whole second half, but at least the last second half, especially when Cornell's going up there, even talking about trading. When you talk about somebody that's a professional trader, somebody that does it for a living, someone that's been involved with funds before. These are things that, ultimately you just got to move on. If you want to avoid, being around people that are so-called where you want to be in life, or, everybody says, oh, I want to go into private. Well, who do you know that's in the private and they're willing to give you what you need to be successful in the private? It's one of those things like, well, yeah, you mentioned it. I've been listening for years. Are you ready to go? You mentioned it. I've been listening for years. Are you ready to go though? So the pain trade may even be investing in your financial education, investing in yourself. That's the pain trade. Why? Because money might be a little tight for you. If it's not tight for you, then it's not a pain trade. But if it's a pain trade, if it's tight for you, why? That means the position is going against you. That means you have to expend some money on the front end so you can invest in your future for the long term. The pain trade is going to Orlando on August 6th. That is the pain trade. Why? Because, man, how many more of these do I have to go to? You go to as many as you can get the most information out. Do you get something new every time you go to the workshop? That's one of the most important things when you go to the conferences or these workshops that you go to. Do you get something new out of it? Did you get something that you really can use tangibly? Sometimes you hear, "Oh, I heard great information," but what were you able to implement immediately? And this is something that we hear from a lot of the workshops and conferences that people talk about. They say, "Oh, well, what was something that you can implement immediately into your program, your generating wealth, your managing wealth strategy?" Because when you're managing wealth, you're still trading. When you're managing wealth, are they sitting in paying trades right now? Are they in long only funds? Were they long only FANG? The FANG stocks? Think about all of these pension funds that were long only right now. You think you want to know who's getting hit with a pain trade? The people that got jobs, they got 401ks. They got 401ks. They got these traditional instruments and they're in the mutual funds. And these funds are in the public sector. And even if they're long only funds, which means they're betting FANG, long term, FANG, what is it? Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. They probably updated it. But when you see those companies, you go look at those companies. These companies don't look like they're too up and up. We're not endorsing these companies. We're not discouraging from these companies. We're not encouraging any trades. We're talking about the facts. The facts are these companies that went on the slippery slide. Even one of your favorite rappers, Elon Musk. The favorite rapper Elon Musk. What's going on with Tesla right now? Let's go look at Tesla. Is it up in the past month? Is it? I mean, oh, they did a stock split. That's what people in the public might want to mention. Oh, well, they did a stock split recently. Don't they do stock splits almost every other year now? Do you know what's going on with stock splits? How many people know what stock splits are? Do you think that's good for the company or you think that's good for the common man? Well, I got two for the price of what I had for one. Yeah, it's lower price now, right? Right. But I got two. Right. And the company also bought shares too. So it wasn't just you who got a two for one split. The company got a two for one split. And then they're buying shares. See, the company's buying shares. See, in order for you to get liquid in that position, you have to sell the long position. And guess what? They're buying the shares back. Did you forget about corporate buybacks nowadays? You haven't heard about corporate buybacks in a while, have you? Why haven't you heard about corporate buybacks in a while? Because the gov had to put some sanctions in place. Why? Because when the sell off happens, who do you think is doing corporate buybacks? The corporations. They're buying back their stock right after they just did a stock split. At the end of the day, of course it's down. It's down. It's definitely down. In the past 6 months, it's down. In the past month, it's down. In the past 5 days, it's down. So when your favorite rapper Elon comes on the screen and says, "Hey, we're all gonna do well with the stock split." Do you hear that? Oh, we're gonna do well with the stock split, right? Isn't that what they say? We're not encouraging you to even touch this thing. This company is so volatile. Why? Because is the company selling cars or do they have a CEO that's running his mouth? Oh man, did you really just say that about this big swinging triple? What is it? Trillionaire Elon Musk. Elon, salute, great conversator, someone that can obviously sell water. He literally can sell water in the desert. So sell sand in the desert, literally. And think about it. He's putting people through a pain trade right now. He's gonna sit here and tell you he's the best CEO of the past 5, 10 years, 20 years. PayPal. Oh, we were at the beginning of the tech boom. He's putting people through a pain trade right now. Oh, is it really the economy or this guy? Well, let's just say it was. the economy, that means they weren't buying the cars. Literally, they're not buying the cars. Because if they were buying the cars, they will still hold the $1 trillion value and be continue growing. But instead, they're receding, regressing, like the rest of the market. But not all of the market is regressing. Are we aware of that? Pain trade. He's giving people a pain trade. The company's giving people a pain trade. But there are other sectors that are growing. There are other companies that are growing. In particular, that's a pain trade. Oh man, I'm gonna wait till this go back to the upside. I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna get it to the upside. You gonna get Elon and Tesla back to the upside when it's down. We don't know when the bleeding's gonna stop. Trust Christian in the vault. We know the second half. Do you think the second half's gonna the bleeding's gonna stop? They're just now calling for what we've called for 2 to 3 or 4 months ago. So where are we right now? In the states, in the market. The pain trade, of course, is your FANG stocks. Let's go look at your favorite rapper Mark Zuckerberg. Is he even still the CEO of this company? This is what you got to think about. Of course, they're going to be down. Oh, well, Trust Christian and Vol, you're telling us something we already know. A lot of these companies are down. Why? Because the market is down. Yeah, and literally, guess what? Most of these markets are ran by a few of these stocks. And one of them in particular is what we just talked about. If you're the leader, you don't really lose positioning. But he has. The company has. Oh, it's not a pain trade. How is it not a pain trade? If you are invested in a 401k or someone you know is invested in a 401k that's a long only fund, when you're in these companies that are dealing in mutual funds and they're like, yeah, we're just going to bet long American. That's what they're thinking. You got these fund managers that are sitting here saying bet long American. Of course, it sounds stupid when we were if you were betting against American, when you were betting against a Ford, when you were betting against a Tesla, when you were betting against a Facebook, when you were betting against Silicon Valley, when you were betting against Silicon Valley last year, and you getting your face ripped off. Now we're in the moment, and who's losing? But are you still there? Because the pain was there years ago now. So if you really were selling the whole time, you're winning right now. If you still had skin in the game, you're winning. Well, that was just a positive of the market going down. That was, well, tech is, think about it. Sure, Tesla does deal with semiconductor chips. What about this other company, Facebook? Why would their stock be down? Why would their company be down? This is a marketing company. Let's go look at Google. Why would Facebook be down? They're a marketing company, ladies and gentlemen. People are selling stuff through marketplace. This is literally one of the they were able to kind of take over that what was that they were able to take over the kind of like a Craigslist crowd because they have the marketplace. And then remember they went into the bigger platform of Meta, and then Meta owns Instagram, which is one of the more popular websites on the internet still at this moment. Um, so when you think about it, how is this company down? Aren't people, if they're in the house, aren't they more on social media? Aren't these companies supposed to be getting more marketing dollars? Hmm, maybe they're not. We're gonna go ahead and do this Google thing. Company, you say, oh man, how could they lose money? They're down. They're down. And you say, oh wow, is it by a lot? Not a lot, but enough. Enough to where, hey, if you were long only, guess what? You're down in your money. The money you put in, it went back against you. If you kept putting money in, positions went back against people. When we looked at Bitcoin the other day and we were looking at that one, it's against people right now. In the past 2 years, the price has been over 20. Most people got in after 20 in the past 2 years. And now we're seeing short term runs, short term gains. Are people taking their profits? Greetings, greetings. Feel free to type into the chat where you listening live, listening to replay from. Feel free to hit the like button. Once again, hit the like button and feel free to type into the chat where you listen live, listen to replay from. Appreciate the Bronx for tuning in live, listen to replay. Always appreciate the Bronx for tuning in live, listen to replay. We got California tuning in live, listen to replay. Always appreciate California for tuning in live, listen to replay. Uh, we don't know when we're going to go to Los Angeles, but feel free. You know, sometimes you got to put the rubber to the road and put in those miles. So Orlando is pretty central. The location is actually at the airport, so it's really convenient for people to come in and come out. Um, and that's the most important thing. So appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. We got OKC, Oklahoma City for tuning in live, listen, to replay. Always appreciate Oklahoma for tuning in live, listen, to replay. The pain trade. Well, trust Christian involved. I'm over here day trading, so I'm trading the stock market. At this point, I could tell it's just going down, so I'm gonna take the ride down every day for the most part. That's how you thinking? See, we're gonna go ahead and address what a pain trade really feels like. A pain trade feels like maybe you get away with that for the first 5 days, maybe the first 2 weeks, but then the algorithm gets you. Because the company, the brokers that people are dealing with that have less than $250,000 in their account, they're on a specific platform where pretty much these companies are selling their data to the hedge funds that got over $250,000, which is called an accredited investor. When you're an accredited investor, you have a different platform. When you're an accredited investor, you have a different account. You know, so when we talk about, oh, can you go trade off some app? Sure, you can go trade off some app because you're not trading with $250,000 on there either. And if you are using the app, not to say people that have $250,000 or more in their account, that means they're not using a phone or some type of mobile device. We're just saying it from the perspective of using their cell phone as the app and the primary holder of the deposit of the deposit of the funds and them doing majority of the transactions and things of that nature. It's a pain trade for those online traders on those apps right now. Why? Where are they getting their data from? They're getting their data from the market. The market says it's a sell off. On the apps, do they tell you how to make money selling or do they tell you how to make money buying? We'll repeat it again for the audience. On the apps, do they tell you what to sell or do they just tell you what to buy? Because we traditionally have not seen what people are called traders. They're just speculators, and it's a lot of millennials that are trying to be in the game, but it's not a profession for them. It's a hobby. So they play with the money. It's the pain trade. Because the pain trades are happening for retail. We're coming up with ideas right now in the market. We can see the opportunities clearly in front of us. It's not a complete sell off. Something's holding the market up right now. It isn't just the big companies. Some companies are getting positive returns. Oh man, well, let's go look at oil. Oil's at all time. It's back over a 20-year high. Oh, oil's at a 20-year high. And what are you going to do about it? Did you benefit from the pain trade of oil going up? Or are you online like the rest of the weaklings talking about, oh man, oil's up? Yeah, because there's a war going on. One of the countries is actually an oil exporter. Oh man, I don't know if it's the government over the United States or what. Well, the United States said we're going to play that game too. And they are. They raised the prices. But did the Americans say, we're going to bet on American oil? How many Americans are betting against their own dollar? That's a pain trade. You want to know why? Because the dollar's at a 20-year high. Let's go look. The dollar's at a 20-year high. Oh, I'm going to bet against the dollar. We need to go to crypto. We need to get rid of the dollar. How you going to get rid of the dollar? The dollar's at a 20-year high. The Asian countries fell against the dollar this week. The European countries fell against the dollar this week. We got to get rid of the dollar, though, because it's so what? You're using the dollar for your transactions. These countries around the world are using the dollar for their transactions. But how many Americans are betting against their own money? Oh, it's not my money. Well, sorry, at least you know who's creating the dollar. The Fed. Who's creating Makayoshis? Satoshi coins. Oh, we don't know the owner of that. You can read the book. It's called the what is it? It's the animal on Jackal's owl. What is it? One second, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking for it because this is a book that you all can read. What is this? Oh wow, come on now. What is this? Somebody in the audience actually knows the book where it's the creature from Jekyll's Owl. I think it's the creature from Jekyll's Owl. The creature from Jekyll's Owl. Yes, the creature from Jekyll Owl. It's not Jekyll's, it's Jekyll. Jekyll. You all can look that up. The creature from Jekyll Owl. This is a book. So when they say, "Oh, I don't know where the money goes," we're sorry that your education, the school system you went through, if they didn't let you read this book, now maybe you can find out how money was created in the United States. The creature from Jekyll Owl. It literally has one of the emblems on the money on the front of the book. It's clear indicator of who created the money. Appreciate Matrix Media for typing the book in for people into the chat. It's Creature from Jekyll Isle. You all can see that it's inside the chat. Please feel free to hit the like button. Always want to increase the algorithm. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Once again, the conference, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com. But we're going to get back to this creature from Jack Wild thing about how money's made. Oh, the dollar. We're gonna bet against the dollar. Yeah, you bet against the dollar right now, didn't you? You bet against the dollar. Hold on. Did your 401k bet against the dollar? Did your financial advisor bet against the dollar? Did you call him? I don't think your financial advisor picking up like 2020 right now, huh? Okay, let's go. So the dollar is officially past 2017 levels, past 2008 levels, past 2009 levels. We're at 2000. Uh, ooh. We're at dot-com bubble levels. Remember in the early 2000s? We're at dot-com bubble levels. You remember those pain trades when people were in those tech stocks early? Oh, I'm in tech stock early. Does this mean go pile into crypto right now? I'm gonna go pile into crypto because I know it's gonna be a bounce back. I know it's gonna be a retracement back up, right? Yeah, and that's why you're sitting in the pain trade right now, just like Amazon was in 2000. Appreciate the Bronx for tuning in live. Listen replay. We got more people tuning in live from the Bronx. Appreciate you. The pain trade. How many of y'all sit in the pain trade right now going against the dollar? How many of y'all sit in the pain trade right now going against these major companies? Hmm. But you want to get rid of the dollar because you're an American and you think they need more transparency. Well, they have the dollar index. You can see how valuable your dollar is right now. Looks pretty strong. Back in the 2000 bubble, do you know how many countries were going under in the 2000s? There wasn't just a transition for the United States. The West going through a tech bubble. There were other countries that didn't have it. We're 20 years later. You got all these internet transaction websites. Hmm. Pain trade. There's a pain trade for people right now. Sitting through wondering when are my tech stocks gonna rally? Huh. Did you go did you call your financial advisor and say, hey look, we might want to get in some defensive stuff, Northrop Grumman. You know about that company? Let's go look at a Northrop Grumman right now. When you look at a Northrop uh, Grumman and this company literally may be doing well. Who knows? We're gonna see. Hmm. In the past 6 months. Well, their so-called war broke out. It's been going on for almost 2 months, and this company's up. But I thought there was no growth in the economy right now. I thought the market's going against you. Your financial advisor doesn't give you that level of flexibility to call them and tell them, hey, smart guy. Hey, guy with the experience and the education and the licenses here. I put in 100. It went to 150, but it's now at 75 because I'm down 25%. I'm down 25% in the bear market. I put in 100, I got 75. I put in 100K, I'm down 75. Pain trade time. Why? Because you don't have that level of control and flexibility to call your advisor and say, hey, you know what? I have my pulse on the market too. I have my pulse on the economy too. I have my pulse on finances too. I have the pulse on what? Your family finances, not your financial advisor that he's just literally managing the portfolio while you work and earn more capital to put in the portfolio. People want to outsource their portfolio. And now you see why people are down 25% plus in their portfolio going into the second half of 2022 when they literally tried to dodge a bullet from 2020. They dodged a bullet. Oh, it was only 2 months, right? That wasn't a whole 2 quarters. Now you're seeing the pain bleed over 2 quarters in a row. Yeah, it's 2 quarters in a row. What do you think the second half's going to be? Well, they're calling out that it's going to be worse than the levels that it's already passed. 2018, 2017, 2008. Oh, the dollar's more expensive than it was in a financial crisis. They called it a financial crisis. The dollar was cheap in a financial crisis. Did you know that? It was one of the cheapest levels that it's been. Go look it up. The dollar was cheap in a financial crisis. Yeah, they were trying to get the dollar out there. Right now, we wanted to do an episode. Is the gov literally intentionally causing a goddamn recession to the common man? And they know. You want to know what the pain trade is, ladies and gentlemen? The pain trade is the average American is not working. The average American doesn't want to earn a hard earned salary. So the inflation's high. Why? Because people aren't working. Since the companies aren't selling products to people that aren't working, the working class, the consumer class that holds up the economy, prices went up. They wanted to get more margins. And they got them super quick. But then the gov, who's the gov? The Fed, they're raising rates. What's the pain trade? Don't tell me real estate's the pain trade, trust Christian and Evolve. Everybody tells me to buy real estate, trust Christian and Evolve. Real estate is the play. Real estate is the play. Real estate is the play. Real estate is where you make your money at. This is where you get cash flow. This is where you sit on your butt money, right? Right. Yeah, right. Pain trade. What you got, Section 8? Dealing with government assistance? Real estate was supposed to be the play in the pain trade mode right now, right? Right. We saw a company today, Compass. Whether y'all know who Compass are, we'll look them up for you all right now so you can look up this company. We're not endorsing this company in any type of way, but we will say that this is a real estate company and this company is down. Why is it down? Because real estate's not moving like that. They're a broker. They utilize the internet for internet marketing. Oh, tech companies again. We're gonna tell you all something that came out of maybe it was a CEO's mouth. Somebody in the tech environment. It sounded silly. And how can this be true if these companies are down? So this is what the statement was stated. This comes from some type of executive, some type of person from a survey. Uh, it was actually from one of the surveys that we read, indicators. It said tech is one of the item lines on the company that is almost permanent and that is one of the last ones to go. And that's a total load of horse BS right now. Why? Because if it wasn't that, then let's just say the tech sector is full of entertainment. Why? Because if that's the case, businesses need tech to operate, period. Just because traffic slowed down, what do you need to slow down tech for? because it sounds like a lot of tech is entertainment. Netflix. But Microsoft isn't. Microsoft, aren't they software? Aren't they cloud? Think about it. Do you even take a hardware disk to upload Microsoft or do any of that to a computer? Let's go look at Microsoft. You think Microsoft's down? Heh. Take a wild guess. Type into the chat. Take a wild guess. We're going to go over the past month. They're down. Past 6 months. They're down. Hold on. My uncle, he bought Microsoft back in the day. He got it when it was $83. He got it when it was $63. He got it when it was $23. Right now, the company was about 200 and 240, today as we were reading on June 14th, 2022. After hours market, you know, we saw it and it was, so he's up, he's up. My uncle, he bought it 20 years ago. Right. Remember back the dot-com boom? Remember 30 years ago when he bought it? It's paying dividends, sure. And if they are, you can check that on your own. And it's up. It's still down though right now. He didn't cash out. He's just been holding a position. He's long only until he decides to get liquid. He's not liquid. He's paper wealthy. He's what we call net worth. So when you hear people running around say, "Oh, I'm net worth," that's what he is. Paper worth, net worth. He got in at 80, got in at 20, whatever number he got in before 240. He's up, but he's also down in 6 months. See how the market moves? It's not just long only. The market has cycles. Some people, they could say, "Oh man, there's been a 30-year bull run in the market." Well, let's go ahead and see. Has there really been a 30-year bull run? Huh? A 30-year bull run. And you think about that. Is that how upset would you be right now in your life to know that you are about to experience one of the hardest falls out of the sky that the world has ever seen? I mean, this is the fear mongering that they have on TV. This is the fear mongering they have on TV. The fear mongering that they have you thinking when you talk to your financial advisor, is he telling you everything's going to be going well? Is the financial advisor saying, "Hey, we're allocating capital into some positions that we know are going to make sure that we come out to the positive on the upside at the end of this year"? Are people going to or are you going to call your advisor right now and he's going to tell you what he's telling everybody else? We're down for Q1, Q2 right now with the portfolio. We're down. Are we up over a 30-year period? Sure. Are we down in the past 6 months? Yes. But I thought you're supposed to be a professional. You're dealing with a pro. They're supposed to be able to grow in any market. It's almost like saying a champion wins because that's what they're supposed to do. They're playing the game to win championships. When you're playing in a business such as the trading, you should be playing to win, correct? Right. That means winning at all times. Do we win at all times? No. But are we up? Yes. That's what makes you a pro. You can win in a good you can be up in a good market and up in what's called a bear. It's a lovely market right now. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Look forward to hearing from you. Christian at trustchristian.com for the workshop. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Definitely going to be talking about this more in person at the workshop. We'll have Cornell most likely pull it up right there on the screen so people can get a good idea of what's going on. But that's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. Looking forward to seeing you at the workshop. Looking forward to having, these conversations when we're talking about trading out of the trust account. You have people talking about that in the public, but is that really happening? So we're going to be talking about it, and at the conference, the asset protection, because, How many people are really confident with leaving $250,000 on some internet app that they downloaded to their phone, but they're not even really engaged in some website. It's just an app that they're literally going to and trading off. And sure, do they have $250,000 in there? We highly doubt it. Because at that point, you usually get contacted by the broker anyways. Once you get to that level, you get contacted by the broker if you didn't know. So, once again, appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Hit the like button. We look forward to hearing from everybody at the workshop, Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Peace and joy.